Looks like the Apple family is planning Ponyville's demise because they want to leave Apple Bloom alone for the very first time at home. She and the CMC always gets into trouble, and luckily, some adults are always around to stop them, so the idea that just one of them stays unauthorized is just horrifying. Thankfully, Applejack thinks the same way, but more about that later. Apple Bloom was always the most impatient member of the CMC, and it's interesting to see how she acts when she finally gets her family's trust to stay alone and the responsibility to prove her maturity. I think it's really funny how Applejack prepares a list of the things to do for Apple Bloom. I don't think this is overreacting. My mom would never forget to tell me that I have to open the fridge door in order to get something out. She even explains to me why eating is good on a biological level. So at this point in the episode, I think Applejack's reaction to the situation is really cute.
You don't have to worry about me. I can take care of myself and the chores. I'm ready for this.
Alright. Am I the only one who's kind of turned on by that? Hey, calm down! I'm called the confused Ninbikun for a reason, okay? Cut me some slack! Back to the story. So young, fresh, juicy little Apple Bloom actually does a good job with her chores. And I thought Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo would stick around, but no, Apple Bloom takes her responsibility seriously and she gets the job done. She's pretty chill too. I thought based on her attitude when she sent her family away to possibly die on their moronic quest on delivering pies, that she would be super nervous and she would want to prove her capability to the point of failure. But no, that comes later. Now let's get back to Applejack. I don't think there's such thing as being out of character. Especially not in MLP, where the girls are supposed to be three-dimensional realistic people. I do things people would never expect from me all the time. And my friends did that too until I killed them. What Applejack does here is that she suddenly realizes that Apple Bloom is growing up. Sure, she runs around Ponyville unauthorized all the time, and maybe Applejack just didn't give it any thought until now. It's the same shock when a father finds out about his 18-year-old daughter that she has a boyfriend. And not like worrying about her family would be anything new to Applejack. And can you blame her for abandoning her pie delivery job to look over Apple Bloom? Can you blame her for not wanting to potentially die in the most pointless of missions a person can have? I hope they get paid a fortune for that. Why do they have to even deliver the pies on foot? Don't they have Pegasi for that? Oh wait, never mind. So my theory is that Applejack is horrified of that manticore in the lava forest. So she's desperate to find a reason, any reason to stay home instead. And that's why she's so over the top about securing Apple Bloom. She's trying to justify the fact that she's there. She has to see that Apple Bloom did kinda good at home. She didn't throw a party or anything. She wasn't even planning to. She just suddenly throws around spaghetti when AJ arrives. Because you always suck when you're trying to prove something. If you're good at something, that shows. But you always screw up when you want to show off. And Apple Bloom, you really want to show off by getting the spaghetti out of the fridge? Who put it on the top shelf anyway? So Apple Bloom, just show AJ the stuff you already did. You finished every chore. That shows that you're competent. But it doesn't even matter because I find this middle part of the episode fucking hilarious. There are a load of amazing jokes. The double helmet, the hats and bows closet, the dialogue between the CMC members. But I think the one joke that really represents the humor in this episode, and I think we can all agree about this line.
Like she does everything with sass.
I don't even know what sass means, and I still think that's the most hilarious joke this season, maybe in the whole show. And until Apple Bloom runs away, I legitimately enjoy this episode the most, at least what I can remember. The quick way these jokes are presented, and they are so unexpected in a way that, for example, the show never referred to that Applejack would have dozens of heads before, and I find that joke amazing, and I really appreciate this self-awareness about any show. I would compare this kind of humor to Lesson Zero's. It's kind of random and unexpected, and at the time, it was pretty jaw-dropping, and this had the same effect on me. Now let's talk about this piece of shit of a story and lesson this episode pretends to have. The thing is that when Applejack turned back from her death mission, I thought I knew where this story is going. I thought Apple Bloom was going to try to prove her competence, she either screws up or Applejack stops her before she could finish her thing, and in the end, AJ realizes that the text Apple Bloom is doing, that being home alone, isn't that big of a deal in the first place. Because it isn't. I probably don't have to explain this to you because I'm pretty sure that most of you were already left alone for a day or two. And I don't know what you did. You threw a party, or watched porn in the living room, or walked around naked or something like that, but I tell you what I did. Nothing. I did a little more chores than I usually do, but other than that, I went about my usual shit. The point is that it doesn't take much to be alone and keep the house from burning down, so I thought Applejack will just gather her courage and carry on with her suicide quest. Apple Bloom fails to deliver the pies and she's about to be eaten by the diamond dog. Call me an idiot, but I don't see how that proves that she can be left alone when we've all seen that she's capable to run the household for one day in the beginning of the episode. Sure, she was able to hide the pies, but that Phoenix has a nose. After eating her, she would have found the pies in the bushes. Apple Bloom failed, and now she's dead. Great job, AJ. I hope you know it's your fault. I don't see why would Applejack forgive Apple Bloom after the incident, and I don't see why should she be so sure that Apple Bloom be fine at home. Unless, after finding out that Apple Bloom left off to the forest of death, her instinct to protect her family overpowered her fear of dying in her pie delivery. So she finally found the strength in herself to go finish the job. In the attempt to save Apple Bloom, she was able to defeat the Hydra, finding that she did have the power to complete the delivery all along. All she needed was the right motivation. And that's why she's so proud of Apple Bloom, not because what she did, but because what she inspired Applejack to do. At least I hope that that happened, because otherwise it makes no sense, and it's moronic. But I can't get this headcanon into consideration when I give my score. Although it fixes all the problems of the episode, and it is fucking brilliant, I'm pretty sure that Scott Sonneborn didn't think of it when he wrote the episode, and neither did I when I first watched it. But to be honest, the ending didn't bother me that much, and as I said, the rest of the episode was just simply too fun to watch to give the episode a bad rating. I actually love this episode, so Somepony to watch over me gets a solid 3 out of 4.
She could be anywhere! She could be lost.
Big Macintosh,
What's he hiding?